In this episode of Playlog, we're talking about Dredge getting a live adaptation, reviewing Botany Manor, and everything that we saw at this week's III Initiative Showcase. Hey guys, CGDannyB back again with another episode of Playlog, the podcast where we talk all things indie gaming. Of course, I couldn't be doing this alone, so we got to shout out the Play Nice Kid themselves. Tofr, what's poppin', dog?
Hello, everyone. I am back from feeling very sick to joining the podcast to talk about a very sick showcase.
Yeah, dude, it's been a day. You're sick.
Yeah.
I don't know that I have a stop on my schedule, and I did it to myself. I could have been like, dog, I just won't stream tonight, but I want to play Yellow Taxi Go Vroom. I want to play the game, and I'm just...
There's too many games this week.
There's so freaking many, and we're going to talk about a bunch of them later, and then, oh, God. I love indie games. Indie games are awesome, dude. Hashtag indie games are awesome. Oh man, but as per usual, we always want to start off the show. Well, actually, no, hold on. Let me bedazzle about the show a little bit more. Of course, this is indie log pause. But I should go to bed. Dude. I'm looking tired. Anyway, this is Playlog, the podcast where we talk all things indie. If you guys have anything you want to say about the show, some thoughts, talk about your favorite indie games, you can write in using the link in the description. That's on all streaming services as well as on YouTube. Because this week we had a great question that I meant to use for this episode, but it's already kind of like a really long one talking about this entire showcase. So I said, let's move this really deep question to next week, and we'll just bring up a small, simpler one. Because Adamedic wrote in and asked, what was your guys' first ever video game? When did you first play this game, and did it leave a huge impact on you and how you saw video games? Tofr, do you remember the first game you ever played?
Well, the thing is, I'm not sure. It could be either of two games. And I wish they were cool answers, but they're not.
Okay.
So either it was The Flash on the original Game Boy.
Okay.
Which was a side-scroller based on the TV show from 1990.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's either that or it was Alex Kidd and Miracle World on the Sega Master System 2.
What a pick.
Yeah, and either of those would have to have been when I was about 6 years old, so about 1991.
Both of those are ones that I know of, but I've never played either of them. I'm sitting here I can envision what this Flash game looks like, having never seen it, and it just looks like nostalgia incarnate. But
it really is. The Alex Kidd game as well. Alex Kidd was like the Sega mascot before Sonic was around.
Yeah.
And it was this platformer, and the boss battles were rock, paper, scissors battles.
Ooh, okay.
It was really weird. It was weird. Sega are lucky that they managed to find Sonic in the end.
Hell yeah, dude. Honestly, I know they made like an Alex Kidd a few years back. I forget how that went, or if that did actually ever come out. I remember them announcing an Alex Kidd game, but maybe that was longer than I thought it was. There
was a Alex Kidd and Miracle World DX that arrived.
That's probably what it was. Yeah, okay.
And it's just a remake of the original.
Remakes.
Yeah, but it looks cute.
Yeah, for sure. Mine's I think I have this right. I remember someone Mom used to work with. He got a PlayStation 2 and gave me and my brother his PlayStation 1. And our first game was Crash Bandicoot. And yeah, dude, that was like the game. Now I'm sure like at some point I picked up a game and played it then. But as far as like my brain can remember, like what's the first thing I remember actually functionally playing would be Crash Bandicoot or Pokemon Blue. Like, nice. I remember walking around with that old Game Boy, no color, not understanding how to save an RPG. So every time I thought the goal was just to play until you were done, turn it off, batteries died, whatever, and then like start over. And like this time I'll take pictures. Almost like I almost made Pokemon a roguelike before roguelikes were a thing. Shout out to Bulbasaur and Squirtle.
Absolutely.
I'm a little baby.
Squirtle is the best starter, and you can debate me on that.
Yeah, yes. Look at him. Come on, stop looking at my face. Look at the turtle. There he is. Yeah. People listening on audio platforms have no idea. I held up my little Squirtle pin. I used to sit in my beanie and it would stab me in the head, so I took it out. Nah, dude, I love those games. Those are great. And like, though Pokemon's taken like a major off course, Pokemon's not great right now. Still nostalgia, go back and play the old ones. I definitely do a randomizer of like classic Blue. I think that'd be fun.
I still have my original save file from Pokemon Blue.
That's so cool. I don't have any. I have like somebody tried to trade in a copy of Pokemon Gold at GameStop once, and we weren't taking retro stuff at the time. So I'm like, I can just get rid of it for you. He's like, yeah, I really don't want to take it home. So I have like his cartridge of Pokemon Gold. That's all I have. Nothing else. And I'm like, damn, what cool to have.
Still though, your first game is a PlayStation 1 game. I feel incredibly old right now.
Well, see, that's the thing, right? Where like I played, I probably would have been 5 or 6. Like maybe we just didn't play video games like that as like toddlers. But then like I even said my brother, it couldn't have been my brother because my brother's like 6 years younger than me. So he would have just been like a dream at that point. So, yeah, no, it's wild, dude. Video games, like thinking back to when I started as opposed to like how long they've existed. Like it just feels like video games have been in my life since I popped out of the womb. And clearly they physically couldn't have been, but they might as well have been. Like, damn, video games rock. But yeah, let us know in the comments below or in the I don't know how the streaming audio services work if you can leave comments. In a Spotify you can. Let us know what your first video game was. It's very important to us to know. But we have a few notes for some indie news this week. One of the first ones being Dredge is getting a movie adaptation from the Sonic movie producers. So that's pretty dope. This one comes from Michael McWhorter. I apologize, Michael. I didn't mean to ruin your name. Over at Polygon. Dredge, the indie adventure game released in 2023 that paired Lovecraftian horror with video games ultimate activity, fishing, is being developed in a live action movie. Producer of the words are hard. Developed as a live action movie, producers of the adaptation announced Tuesday. Working with Dredge developer Black Salt Games to make the film a reality and production company, Story Kitchen, which was co-founded by Sonic the Hedgehog producer and DJ2 Entertainment founder Dimitri M. Johnson. They go into a little bit more, just kind of saying it's like a movie. Some more things about like announced Netflix animated series of like Tomb Raider and Streets of Rage. Did you play Dredge?
I did play Dredge, and I kind of loved it, but kind of didn't.
Okay.
Like the gameplay is excellent, and I implore everyone to play this game. The thing is, I was hoping for a more relaxing time, and I couldn't handle the dread.
Okay. No, I get it. I adored Dredge. It was my game of the year last year. Last year? Yeah. I keep track of what year we were in. No, I absolutely adore Dredge. It was one of those early in the year. I want to say it was like February, March last year. And playing it and being so in love with it, it sat at my like number one for the year. And then Sea of Stars came out, and I was back and forth on which of these I like loved the most, which one I was going to stick with. And then we got to like the Jeff Keighley Game Awards, and they did like the quick little annoying, it should have been longer, should have been more time in the spotlight type deal. But they're like, here's your 5 announcements. Sea of Stars wins. And I remember in my gut, I'm like, damn, that should have been Dredge. So like, I knew then, I'm like, okay, Dredge is my game of the year. That game is super fun. I totally get like the, like not being into like the tone and everything. Lovecraftian is not my cup of tea, like in any other media whatsoever. But Dredge just hit different. I like the nights where I'd sit up playing this game, and then all of a sudden I'm like, I'm gonna get like 2 more fish, like 15 more minutes, and then like 3 hours pass. I'm like, shit, where'd the time go? Dredge is magnificent. I love Dredge. As far as the movie adaptation goes, I'm interested to see what it looks like. Again, you can definitely read the article over on Polygon. I know I didn't go too in depth, just kind of got the bullet point there, but I'm excited to see what it turns into. If we're looking at like a live action adaptation, if we're talking about a cool atmospheric animated type movie, either way, I'm into it. I'm down for it. I can see this like being like a Netflix original, sit back on the couch, movie, like lights off. Sorry, friends, I'm not watching this with you. I want to enjoy this and take it in. I'm watching this alone and just fall in love with it.
Yeah, I can imagine. Like the thing is, I wanted to love the game more than I did. It's just that I wasn't ready for how creepy it was.
Right.
Like I was like, this is going to be like a gentle horror game. It wasn't.
Like
in the middle of the ocean, and all of a sudden there's tentacles there, and I'm like, no.
It's like, right, dude. The first time I saw like a shipwreck, I'm like, ooh, let me see if I can get some materials, and just turn into a giant lobster monster. I'm like, I need to leave. I need to run. Let's leave.
Yes.
It's great. 'Cause, yeah, horror. I don't like horror, but there was something that was more like atmospheric than it was like. Well, no, there are things actually chasing you in the water, or at least we think. We don't know. Was it a mind game? We'll never know. But nah, dude. Dredge rocks. Dredge is awesome.
It does.
But yes, that's Dredge. Next and final news story we got here. Xbox Game Pass is saving indie studios. So this one is from Ben Carey over at Pure Xbox. He writes, "We all love Xbox Game Pass here at Pure Xbox, and as it turns out, plenty of indie studios seem grateful for the service and its security too. We heard this from a small dev and publisher before, and this week the Citizen Sleeper creator has talked about how the service is keeping plenty of studios going right now. Spotted over on Reddit, Citizen Sleeper designer Gareth Damian Martin says that Xbox Game Pass, quote, was massive for Citizen Sleeper, end quote. And he quote, I'm not supposed to do the quote end quote thing. I'm new to this. And he thinks Game Pass is keeping a lot of indie studios going right now. This chat about service originates from Edge Magazine, and we'll drop the full snippet down below. And then article continues. As you can see, Martin claims that while the money may be a small amount for Xbox owner Microsoft, to them it means we can make another game. In this particular case, Citizen Sleeper 2 is now well in development with Martin at the helm. But it follows up. This scenario doesn't always seem to be the case, though. Casey Yano, co-founder of Slay the Spire studio Megacrit Games, and Darkest Dungeon director Chris Bourassa, I believe is how you say it, recently claimed that deals with the likes of Xbox Game Pass and Epic Game Store seem to be getting smaller, although Yano later clarified that the comments were aimed more at Epic than Microsoft. You got Game Pass?
Of course I got Game Pass.
Yeah, dude.
I'm a gamer. If you game, you have to have Game Pass,
yes,
right?
you do. Game Pass is so great. And there was a point when I got my subscription. I used to have just regular Game Pass, like for Xbox. I stopped playing on my Xbox. I got Ultimate for PC. And Game Pass is very much my, like, let me test the waters platform, where, like, I'll play a game if I don't want to say if I love it enough. Like, I'll play through it on Game Pass. Or if I'm like, oh, this is also released on PlayStation, let me try it here. If I love it, I'll go buy it on PlayStation, play it through there. Like, I started Thirsty Suitors. I'm loving it. Plan to pick it up on PlayStation. Haven't done it yet. But, like, Game Pass gives this platform for all these indie studios who, like, nobody wants to go out and spend $20 on, like, maybe I'll like it, maybe I won't. To be like, I already pay the whatever a month. Like, let me just try all these different games. So, like, I think Game Pass is amazing. I'm glad to hear that at least some devs are getting that, like, recognition out of it.
Yeah, I've heard other devs talk about it as well, and they mentioned that even while their game is on Game Pass, they still get more sales in than they would if they weren't on Game Pass.
Yeah.
So there is an effect that can be proven that it works.
Right, for sure. I've always been interested, right? Because it might be out there. I haven't seen it. If there's like an interview with like Phil or anyone at ID at Xbox or how this whole thing works. But I'm under the impression it's like hey, we like your game. We want to get it on Game Pass. When it launches, like, we will pay the studio X amount of money. And then, like, whether that's for a year contract, for 2 years, for 3 years, whatever. If we want to extend it, we'll pay you more then. That's like the image I have in my head. I don't know for a fact that's how Game Pass functions. And then, of course, you're talking about Xbox's own thing, but that's on their end. But yeah, like, every now and again, you see games leave, games come in later, games that will launch on Game Pass. And seeing those get the attention from, like, it's almost like that Rocket League energy on PlayStation when, like, everyone thinks this looks cool, but, like, will I spend $20 for it? It's then for it just to drop for free for PlayStation Plus, and then the world falls in love with Rocket League. I don't know if we've had, like, the Game Pass, like, story similar to that, but I'm sure a lot more of these indie games were played and found out about because they existed on Game Pass.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And the thing is, like, the people who, like, curate Game Pass, they know what they're doing as well. The amount of incredible indies I've played through Game Pass is just, I can't tell you how many there were. You have Unpacking, you have Stardew Valley's on there. You've got just too many to mention.
Yeah. Beacon Pines.
Last year you had Dordogne. You had
Dordogne. Is that how you say it? Is that Dordogne?
Dordogne.
Okay. There's always the people like, I was calling it Dordogne, and I was like, I don't know how to say it.
I think it's fine.
As well as you're like, but wait, yeah, they might actually know how to say this thing. I don't.
Yeah, it's Dordogne.
Okay. I'm going to butch that in like 2 weeks. And I'm like, dude, Dordogne was so cute.
You try. That's all you can do. You try.
Yeah, dude. But no, Game Pass is great. And then think of the ones that are coming up, like Another Crab's Treasure is launching on Game Pass. And that goes back to like the Unity thing where like they were afraid like people are going to uninstall, reinstall, and like they're going to lose money because of all these different installs because it's on Game Pass. And luckily, I don't think that's an issue to worry about anymore. But just thinking like Another Crab's Treasure, this big upcoming indie is like, yeah, on Game Pass, day one, baby. You want to play it? I mean, granted, it's probably gonna be like $20. You could pay like the 17 or whatever for Game Pass Ultimate, but yeah. What also, what'd you think about like the studio saying like we didn't see it as helpful. I know they kind of backpedaled and directed it more towards like Epic, because Epic just kind of gives the game away for free as opposed to like it being on like a paid service. But do you have any thoughts on that as far as like it not being beneficial? I think it's
interesting, like the identity of the studios that mention this.
Yeah.
Because, for example, you mentioned the people behind Slay the Spire.
Mm-hmm.
By the time Slay the Spire came to Game Pass, the game had been out for quite some time and had already reached most of its target audience, I think.
Yeah.
So I can imagine that for them, it didn't feel as successful as it could have been. The same goes with like Red Hook Studios, the people behind Darkest Dungeon.
Yeah.
They launched Darkest Dungeon 2 exclusively on Epic.
And I didn't know that.
Yeah, and I think they missed a lot of people, like a lot of their target audience because of that.
Got it. Yeah, it's definitely interesting. Like I enjoy Epic. Personally, I like Epic's storefront better, but I also realize that they very rarely get like the games that I'd rather just pick it up on Steam. Like, I think Epic does a great job with giving us free games away each month, but I think they could definitely expand that library, but that's going to come first with expanding their audience. Because Epic right now is just like the Fortnite platform. If I want to play Fortnite, I have to download Epic, and that's most people's like reason for having another computer at all. So yeah, I could see like a game, especially an indie game, being like, we're going to launch exclusively on Epic, being like, that might be a hit. You're trying to bring in an audience that I don't know you're going to find just on Epic.
That's true. Like, I'm going to be honest, most of my library on Epic is the free games.
Yeah, same.
Each week.
Yep.
Yeah. Especially since I got my Steam Deck. That has been a major factor in like not buying anything on Epic anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same. I'm sure there's like a video out there of how to play your Epic games on Steam or on Steam Deck and whatever.
I tried it, but it doesn't always work.
Yeah.
You know? But if you buy games on Epic, be sure to use the code CGDannyB.
That's what's up. That's the advertisement I'm talking about, baby. Let's go. Yeah, guys, don't forget, I have a Fortnite creator code. So if you're buying things in the Fortnite item shop, Fall Guys, I think it works in Rocket League. I don't remember. Or just picking up the free games each month, each week, each however often. Yeah, use code CGDannyB. It helps out a lot. Keeps the show running.
Yeah.
Yeah, Game Pass. Sick. I love Game Pass.
Yeah. But the interesting thing as well about the identity of the last developers that you mentioned is that most of them are the people behind the III initiative.
There you go. Listen, I don't even got to do it anymore, man. He's doing it for me. I was out here. I was like, speaking of Slay the Spire. Nah, listen, we in it. That's right. Today as of recording, yesterday as of this podcast going up, we had the III Initiative Showcase, which is a brand new showcase they started. It is basically a bunch of quote III studios banding together to showcase either new releases, upcoming titles, what they've been working on, DLC for existing games. And I think it's really interesting, right? I talked about this a little bit during my reaction, which you can also find on youtube.com/CGDannyB. But I talked at the beginning a little bit about how like III has always been kind of a consumer term and indies are already niche. So like it's already like a niche term, but you're talking like III being the big indies. And I think if you walked up to someone and said, what's a III indie? You're talking Hades, Hollow Knight, Shovel Knight, like Cuphead, these ones that people all know. And even as we look at like the showcase we saw today, which we'll get into in a minute, a lot of these titles though, I think are big titles for us, like people who play indies like day in and day out. A lot of them are still kind of niche. Like, I don't know how many people I could walk up to in like a GameStop, like, you heard of Risk of Rain 2? And they'd be like, yes, I love Risk of Rain. Like, obviously there will be people. So like, I'm wondering if this is just that first step of like, we couldn't get everybody. We couldn't get Yacht Club in the door. We couldn't get Devolver in the door. Not that necessarily think those studios need it, but I think in showcasing like what the III initiative could be, I think those would have been nice. But that aside, like they had some bangers today, bro. This showcase came in to talk about some indies, dude.
Yeah, they had some major surprises. And I got excited. I was glad I wasn't live on stream because I shouted at the first one.
Absolutely, dude. We're gonna break down everything, and there's a lot. We're gonna go down, basically popcorn this thing back and forth, give our thoughts on the games, what we've played, previous titles from the studio. And then huge shout out to Tofr here, who basically made the cheat sheet to begin with as what each of these studios made. Because sometimes there's a lot of indie studios, and it's hard to keep in line who made what, let alone went back and said, all right, here's what was announced. Here was the order they were in. They said this, little note about it. So like this show made possible by the Plain S Kid themselves.
You're very welcome.
But no, you're the most excited. How about you start this one off? What was that first world premiere?
All right, the first world premiere was Slay the Spire 2. And like most people will know, if you're a fan of Slay the Spire, it's made by Megacrit. They made Slay the Spire, which is the game that just set the standard for all roguelike deck builders to come afterwards. It's gonna arrive in early access in 2025. We didn't get to see any gameplay. Mm-hmm. I think we got to see the 3 main characters.
Yes,
which looked interesting, but I'm really curious because I'm very excited. I still play Slay the Spire till this day.
Yeah,
I'm actually at the moment waiting for the Slay the Spire board game to arrive.
Ooh, well. I know it was a board game. Okay.
Yeah, I backed that on Kickstarter.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. If I could be like slightly critical, I was hoping they might do something else instead of a Slay the Spire 2. But
okay.
That's just nitpicking because I am way too excited for this.
Yeah. Slay the Spire was what, 2019,
I think.
Oh, I was thinking like 2015, 16. Okay, so it's still more recent than I thought. But like, yeah, Slay the Spire is...
I'm going to check it.
Yeah, go for it. It's one that I dabbled with. I did not play it a lot. I know like my buddy Kanai's played way more than I have. It's never one that I like invested heavily in. And I'm always like, one day I'm going to pick this back up and play more Slay the Spire. And like seeing it today, and like for video watchers, it's up here on the screen. You can see like the characters and the release date. There's like a Grim Reaper looking character. I'm like, that one might be mine. I'm kind of excited. But yeah, I definitely got to get back and play more Slay the Spire. And now with like the new one coming in 2025, this is my current like, all right, now I've gone back and played Hades. Now I got to go back and play Slay the Spire before Slay the Spire 2 comes out. And yeah, I think it's going to be a fun one. I'm hoping the visuals like we saw in the cutscene, because I think the first one is a little more like hinge animated, if I recall. So it's a little clunky looking, like in terms of like a Saturday morning cartoon. If this has like even a semblance of what's in this trailer, it's going to look gorgeous. I'm excited to see that.
Absolutely. That's like the only critique you could give the game now is that the visuals are very outdated.
Yeah.
But the gameplay still holds up. And since I know you like Wild Frost, I know you're going to enjoy Slay the Spire.
Yeah, dude. It has me excited. It has me excited. Right now, Wild Frost is like my roguelike obsession, that and Balatro. So like, I wouldn't say I was a deck builder guy, and all of a sudden it's like, you know what? I might be a deck builder guy. Honestly, it might be a thing. But yeah, right after Slay the Spire, they jumped into Risk of Rain 2. We already know they have the next expansion, which the Shadows of the Storm or something to the effect, I forget. Yes, from Hobo Games, already created Risk of Rain 2. They're adding the Devotion update, which adds none other than the Prisoner from Dead Cells. So like, that's pretty sick. They're also adding 2 extra artifacts, Devotion and Delusion. No clue what those do yet. They're probably here in the trailer. But a few days ago, I want to say it was the Motion Twin Twitter, but it could have been either. They tweeted out like, yo, remember when they added Commando to Dead Cells? That was pretty crazy. We should probably return the favor. And I was like, you bastards, you're not going to do it. And then they just showed it today. Yeah. So Prisoner from Dead Cells is coming to Risk of Rain. Chris RV2 out there, I know he's listening. Just like, yes, I love Dead Cells. I got to play more Risk of Rain. I can't wait. Yeah, dude, this is fun. This is fun. I get into Risk of Rain periodically, and I don't like super commit to it. Like I don't stick around very often, but I think adding this extra character, I'm assuming a character. I don't know if he's a skin for another character or if he's just his own. I think that's exciting. I'm excited to try out the Prisoner. I don't know how familiar you are. Have you played Risk of Rain 2 enough or at all? Or
I haven't played any of the Risk of Rain games. I did play Dead Cells for a while, but I am too bad at games to play Dead Cells.
I get it, dude.
Yeah,
it's tough. It's tough.
Yeah, but the Prisoner is gonna be a skin for a different character.
Okay. Oh man, now I hate it. Now I don't even want it anymore. I don't want to play anymore now.
But this isn't gonna be the best news for fans of Dead Cells in this rundown.
It's true. So you're on it. You're on like, you know what?
Oh, yeah.
I got the segues. But I also saw on Twitter before we started recording here today, Motion Twin tweeted out that there is currently a Steam bundle available on Steam. It's $24 and you get Risk of Rain 2 and Dead Cells. I didn't see which version of Dead Cells, so I don't know if it's just like the base package or if it's like that Game of the Year, enjoy all the DLC, Return of Castlevania. But it's $24 for 2 games. You're talking $12 each. That's like a steal for each of these alone. So yeah, go over to Steam, check that out. $24 for both of these awesome titles. Then you can check out the DLC for Risk of Rain later and go play Dead Cells and find Commando. He's in there already.
Nice.
Yeah. But on the next one, all yours, dog.
The next one was another world premiere, and it was for Kill Knight. This is a game from Playside Studios, and they describe it as an ultra-responsive, arcade-inspired isometric action shooter. The game gave me like these kind of Control meets Hades vibes.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a good way to describe it. It's coming out in 2024, but there's not much more info than that at the moment.
Yeah, this one looked interesting. It's one that the amount of times I see a game, I'm like, do I follow this one on Twitter? It looks like I do. Maybe I don't. Maybe I follow something similar. It looks fun. It looks insanely fast. I'm hoping there's like an epilepsy warning at the beginning of this game because like, holy crap, there's a lot going on. But it reminds me a lot of Fury, this like insanely difficult twin stick shooter. And like just seeing all the orbs and stuff fly across the screen. Yeah, it looks a lot like that. But yeah, Kill Knight looks cool. I'm interested in checking that one out. It feels like it's gonna be one of those, depending on the circumstance. If this game comes out, but like 2 or 3 other things that I'm more excited for it'll definitely get bumped down the list. But I'm hoping it just drops in this window of like nothing, and I'm like, oh cool, Kill Knight time.
Yeah, it looks amazing. That it has that going for it. I really love the aesthetic.
Yeah, dude.
I'm not the biggest fan of shooters, so I'm not sure if I'm going to be picking it up.
Yeah.
So I might have to wait for your review.
Okay, yeah. Well, listen, we'll see what happens. Kill Knight. If you want to send me out, get some codes. Emails in the description, in the bio, somewhere over there. Hit me up. But yes, after Kill Knight, we got an update on Shadows of Doubt from Cold Powered Games. It's a detective sim in this like gorgeous voxel world. I feel like I have to say disclaimer because I did do a paid advertisement for Shadows of Doubt a while back over on TikTok. So just in case that's an important thing to mention, I have received a review code. I've done marketing for the game. But the game's currently in early access. We're adding like this sharpshooter assassin update. I haven't played a lot of the game. I didn't quite get my head wrapped around like the whole detective red wire type thing, but seeing this update, like, damn, I wish I picked this game up more when it dropped, because I think I have a better understanding of how to play it right, as opposed to now where I'm like, I'm going to struggle to get into it, but I do want to play it. It looks like a blast. I don't know if you touched Shadows of Doubt at all.
I haven't played it yet, no, and it kind of went under the radar for me because I do like detective games.
Yeah.
So seeing this trailer has reminded me that I have to try it out.
Yeah, dude. Plus, it just got announced that it's coming to Xbox and PlayStation 5 sometime this year. So, console players, this is what I'm telling you. You're like, oh man, all these games coming to PC. When do I get to play them on my console? As soon as you go wishlist them on Steam. Remember, wishlist equals more people see it, equals more people buy it, equals more money for the studios. More money for the studios, console ports. Go wishlist all the games you want, please. It's important.
Yes, please do.
If not, you're a coward. Yeah, Shadows of Doubt looks really cool. I'm hoping this game like pops off more in the future, and maybe that's on me. I should talk about it more.
Next up is my time at Sandrock.
Yeah.
This comes from Pathea Games. I think that's how you pronounce it.
I believe so. I think you're right.
The studio behind my time at Porsche. For the people that don't know, it's a very popular life sim. It's a very cozy game without farming. So that's a win for some people. And the fun update in this showcase today was that the game is going cross-platform co-op multiplayer this summer.
Let's go, baby!
Yeah,
crossplay, baby. Should be the standard.
I think so, but yeah, Stardew was single player at first as well.
Yeah. This was interesting, right? Because like I've never played my time at Portia. I never knew how you say it. Never really got into that one, but like this one shows like a lot more like combat type deal as well as like the survival stuff. I'm like, wait, hold on. Does Porsche have this? If not, Sandrock seems more my speed. I still don't think it's one I'm going to jump into right away. But it does look cool. Plus, like the first character, not knowing their gender identity, but they remind me of Shamir from Fire Emblem Three Houses, and she bad. So like, I'm kind of out here like, hold on, Shamir in this game? Because like, I'm kind of feeling it.
You are the target audience.
Yeah, dude. Have you played not Sandrock, My Time at Porsche or any of the other studios games and be like, this might be your cup of tea? Or
I tried My Time at Porsche and I didn't really vibe with it.
Okay.
That's because I was way too much invested in Stardew Valley at the time.
Fair enough.
So maybe that's why.
When you got to compete with Stardew, it's just not fair.
It isn't. I haven't tried My Time at Sandrock yet, but I might. Especially with the multiplayer thing coming in as well.
Yeah. But yeah, after Sandrock, we had one that honestly I was not vibing with, and then I was. So this is Dino Lords, action RTS in medieval England with dinosaurs. It's gonna arrive in early access. We didn't get a date for anything yet, but off the rip, it seemed very generic. It's like not even tower defense, but like you're just kind of running around defending your base. And then eventually this T-Rex comes in, and then you see raptors and stegosauruses and everything. Hold on, this looks pretty fun. I think I'm vibing with one. I don't know how you're feeling on this one.
I had the same exact feeling. Like I remember during the live stream, your chat was going England.
Yeah, I have so many people from England,
and then all of a sudden, the dinosaurs arrived. Right. The chat just went wild.
Dude, it looks lit. I'm excited to see. Right now, it's definitely that gameplay, but it's a little more cinematic gameplay where I'm not quite seeing what my like day-to-day actions are going to be in the game. How much am I playing? Is it like click until my character walks there? Am I actively moving? It is an RTS, so like I could see it being a little more like stagnant. I kind of just place things and let them like, well, I guess I'm thinking more tower defense than RTS. So I don't know. I'm interested in like the actual gameplay in action of it. But yeah, you were missing me at the beginning. Then you grabbed me. You brought in the dinosaurs and you grabbed me. It looked pretty cool.
And I think if I saw correctly at the end that it's multiplayer as well.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, dog. Get the boys in there. Run some some Dino Worlds. Let's do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, after Dino World, Dino Lords, that's the game, not Dino World.
Yeah, next up we've got Gestalt, Steam and Cinder. Yeah, this comes to us from Metamorphosis Games, and it's a Metroidvania that looks absolutely beautiful.
It's so beautiful.
I mean, it's one of the things I mention most when I talk about Metroidvanias is the artwork, because I'm not that good at playing Metroidvania, so I spend most of the time just looking at how beautiful it is.
Yeah, dude.
This world is like a place I want to like take my time and get invested in. The good news is that it is releasing on May 21st.
Hell yeah, dude. So soon. I can't wait. Yeah, I did a trial period on this one a while back. This game is awesome. It's not quite challenging, but it's not easy either. Like I definitely had some struggles with the bosses and stuff. But no, this game is absolutely gorgeous. Hot redhead main character. Can't wait to see her just start kicking ass and taking names. I'm very interested. I have to see what's going on with it. But this was initially being published by the Completionist publishing company.
Okay.
And I can't think of the name, but then Gerard went through a lot of the like, oh man, we collected money for charity, but we didn't actually give the money for charity. So I don't know what's going on with that. So I don't know. I'm seeing Fireshine, I believe is the studio here. I don't know if that's Gerard's publishing company or not. Yeah, Fireshine Games. They did a lot. They did like the Katamon, These Doomed Isles.
Oh.
Little Friends, Puppy Island, Shadows of Doubt.
Shadows of Doubt.
Yeah. So I have to see. I don't think this is Gerard's company. So I don't know if this changed publishers or something over time with the controversy or not. But away from that, whatever's going on there, however you feel about Gerard and all that stuff, Gestalt's awesome. I don't know if the demo's still on Steam, but if it is, you should totally go play it. And if it's not, it is still on Steam. Go play the demo. It's awesome. And then wishlist it while you're over there, because I am so gassed for this one. and like I'm already planning my like May release video for next month, and this is probably the thumbnail. Like I'm so excited for Gestalt. It looks gorgeous, dude.
Cool.
Cool indeed. But anyway, after that, we got another indie banger that everybody should know about, and that is Vampire Survivors. I want to point out, before we even get started, I have the video pulled up. I'm a kind of funny best friend. I love my kind of funny. So once upon a time, one young Gregory Miller made a whole video about, not a whole video, but on the podcast, I think it was like Vampire Survivor coming to Switch. And he did this whole like, give me the one. He's like, hey, bring it to PlayStation so we could play it. And like calling people out, I'm the PlayStation fanboy, blah, blah, blah. And they use that as the introductory clip of Greg Miller in the background just screaming about not bringing it to PlayStation. So yeah, Vampire Survivors coming to PlayStation 4 and 5, I believe. Just 5. I see just 5 of the dock. Either way, coming to PlayStation. With the new Operation Guns DLC, which is a big expansion that adds Contra characters. Which at first, as someone who didn't play Contra, I'm like, what is this? Is this Broforce? The dude looked like I'm gonna say John Stamos. That's not it. Fucking Rocky. What the fuck's Rocky? Sylvester Stallone. It looked like Sylvester Stallone's character from Broforce.
Oh my god, John Stamos and Broforce. That was...
Can I get John Stamos in a game though? Can I get Uncle Jesse in a game though? Because yes. I'd play that. give me a Full House like narrative adventure, dude. Let's go. But yeah, I don't know how much you've played Vampire Survivors. I've only dabbled with like the mobile one. It's so weird because like I will often play like everything inspired by Vampire Survivors, Hardcore Cottagecore, Pathfinder, Goobies, all these other ones. But like I've put like 0 to like no time into actual Vampire Survivors. If it was on PlayStation, that might be the one. Like I might be like, okay, maybe I'll try it now.
Well, I play it on Steam Deck, and it's a perfect Steam Deck game. When you're watching something or listening to a podcast or something, in the background, and you're just going up and seeing those numbers go up and the screen fill up with enemies, and then you just destroy them. It's very satisfying.
Crazy, dude. I love it that like. I don't know if this is the first. It seems like it's the first, but it's definitely the one that like got the attention of everyone. Like this is what just a horde-based roguelike can be, and it's awesome. And the amount of games that take inspiration from that. I was talking to someone the other day. I'm like, if you give me a Shovel Knight Vampire Survivors, I'll go nuts. That will be my like life obsession. I'll play it every day. Like that. But even Extremely Powerful Capybaras, like all these games are so similar. And like, I love them when they're more my style. The Castlevania medieval vampire environment's like never really been my type of thing. Like very rarely does one kind of grab me. Castlevania's never been for me. But yeah, seeing all these other ones where I'm like, oh shit, is this a cute little animal shooting stuff? Is that a freaking potato with a gun? I might be into this, dude. But now Vampire Survivor is the one that like made this particular type of roguelike like popular. And I love seeing other studios take their attempt at it.
Absolutely, because the thing is, there's so many competitors coming up, but none of them are able to steal the crown.
It's true. It's true. Except for Goobies. Goobies is the main. Have you played Goobies? You hear about Goobies?
No.
Oh man, it's Vampire Survivors, but everybody's a little slime ball. They're little goofy little dudes, right? There's Bingus Bongus, there's Woozy Woozy, there's all these characters, and it's just wibbly wobbly everything. It's Vampire Survivors, but it's better. Everybody should go play Goobies. I think it's like $5.
I might actually pick that up.
I recommend it. And you'll be like, Danny, I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with the Goobies. It's great. I think the studio's name is like Knifes, Nifes. It's like, yo, Knifes. I love it.
Cool. All right. Next up, we've got Flintlock, The Siege of Dawn.
Baby. Let's go.
This one comes to us from A44 Games, and it looks just stunning, really. The showcase presented us with a behind the scenes with the composer of the game, which was a nice change of scenery. But it was the visuals that really drew me in on this one. And the game has gotten a summer 2024 release window.
Let's go, baby. Let's do it, dog. I think this game looks super sick. You mentioned to start with like the composer stuff. I always think that's fun. I think we mentioned during the reaction that like the composer tends to be like let's get a 5-minute bit and put it on YouTube after the fact and see how many people find it. The fact that on this platform they have where it's not the first time, but one of the first times we're seeing this game like being talked about since it was announced. They're like, by the way, here's the guy who makes our music. He's going to tell you about the game. Also in like his creative process. I thought that was really cool. But yeah, dude, Flintlock. I remember when this one got announced. I thought it looked sick. I want to say it was at an Xbox showcase, but someone can correct me. I might be making that fact up. This game looks sick. This is one of those like this looks like a AAA game. And when I looked at the camera, I'm like, by the way, it's an indie, baby. It's an indie game, bitches. It's an indie. They're not all pixel art, dude. Gorgeous, stunning game, and I have that ever so slight fear after hearing like the complaints about Forspoken's gameplay last year that this one might feel similar, and I'm hoping that's not the case. I'm hoping this one feels really good. But visually, I think the game looks gorgeous. There's a little like fox type friend with you, and yeah, Flintlock's great.
Yeah, it reminds me kind of like Hellblade.
Okay, yeah.
Just because of like the AAA kind of visuals, and I'm hoping that it gets a better response than that did as well.
Yeah. I mean, even like Hellblade 1, I loved it, and like Hellblade 2 is in this weird spot right now where they like just announced like 30 frames, everybody, and yeah, I don't know why. Why be crying? Why be crying? Listen, guys, just play the fucking game. What are you crying about? Just because you're like, I got 50% my frame. Who cares? If you can see the game.
The frames.
I don't care about your fucking frames. The game looks great. The game looks fun. I was honestly playing to buy an Xbox like by this point, and I haven't. And I'm like, man, I sure hope my PC can run that. I hope my PC can run it so I can play Hellblade. But yeah, dude. But anyway, Hellblade, whatever. I don't think Xbox doesn't own Ninja Theory, right? They're just doing Hellblade. Ninja Theory's still independent.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Tell me if we're wrong in the comments. We'll see. But yeah, dude, Flinthook looks awesome. Flintlock, not Flinthook. Flinthook's a different game. Dog, I told you I'm fucking tired today, man. We're gonna finish this. I'm gonna go stream fucking Yellow Taxi, go vroom, and I'm ready for bed. I feel like I rambled for 5 minutes. Anything else on Flintlock from you?
Oh no, I just think it looks gorgeous, and I'm not sure if it's gonna be my type of game, seeing as it, like you're battling these bosses.
Yeah,
it's not kind of my jam, but I'm willing to give it a try because of the gorgeous visuals, because of the music.
Yeah,
the music seemed pretty special too.
Yeah, dude.
And it's an indie game. I'm probably gonna try it.
You gotta play them all.
Yeah.
I don't know if that one's a Game Pass one. I feel like I think we saw it at an Xbox event, so like in my head I'm like, oh, that's coming to Game Pass day one. But like I might be making that fact up.
I don't think so, since it wasn't mentioned. They mentioned the release window.
That's true.
But no mention of Game Pass. So.
Damn. Come on, Game Pass, get your hands on that one. Actually, you know what? PlayStation Plus, you do it. You already got Zhao and Dave, so let's put Flintlock, not Flinthook, on PlayStation Plus. I want to play Flinthook. But yeah, after Flintlock, we got Never Alone 2, which was not on my 2020 anything bingo card. But some people might remember Never Alone. It was a 2D type action platform where you played as this young girl and her like pet like Arctic fox. And you were going through like this Arctic tundra type deal. And they're making a sequel, which out of nowhere, I never ever thought we'd be getting a sequel to that one. It just seemed like it was free on PlayStation Plus. A lot of us played it back then. This was fun and charming. But we're getting a sequel. So that's cool. Have you ever played Never Alone like at all?
I had never heard of it even.
Yeah.
But I don't play games on PlayStation. I only have a PlayStation 4 at the moment. I know.
This fucking guy.
But it seems like Humble Games is really making an effort to get this game going. It's still being made by Eline Media, but Humble Games seem to be really involved. They were front and center in this trailer as well.
Yeah, dude. I really like what Humble's doing lately. I mean, they had their showcase a little while ago, and I remember they did Breeze in the Wind, which wasn't at the showcase, but a gorgeous like 2D beat 'em up type deal that I cannot get out of my head, and I can't wait to play that one. But yeah, that wasn't at the showcase today. But you know what else was at the showcase today? The next game on the list, take it away.
I feel like seeing the previous games by this developer that you should make this one.
Yeah, you know what? Fair enough. I got you. So next up, we saw Cataclysmo from Digital Sun, and y'all know I love me my Moonlighter. Digital Sun made Moonlighter. They also made a Mage Seeker, a League of Legends story, and this is their next game. It is a tower defense game, not tower defense RTS base building whole thing. On paper, that doesn't sound like my cup of tea. That doesn't sound like a Danny ass game. However, it's Digital Sun, so I have to play it. It looks awesome. I'm already on like a review list. So like, let me get a key. Make sure I get a key when this game drops. But stylistically, it looks cool. It's like a bunch of these like bugs. They almost look like shoot, what are the things from the swarm, the hive, the hive's Halo gears. Whatever the fucking white bug things are from Halo. No one plays that game. They look like those. Dead game, exactly. But no, like it's just a bunch of these like hordes rushing your base, and you're putting up like trebuchets, warriors on top of a wall to like try and clear them out before they like take down your base. I know I have the demo sitting on my PC. It's one that I'm afraid to launch because I'm afraid they took the demo down. And if you go to launch a Steam demo that's not there anymore, it'll just bring you to the page, and I'm not ready for that heartbreak. And I'm too afraid to check. But I'm like, I need to play this demo. So I'm like, I get like, yes, Cataclysm looks great. Yeah, that one just got a release date for July 16th, so only a few months out for that one. Can't wait. Mm-hmm. And then I'm hoping right after Cataclysmo, we're talking Moonlighter 2. That's all I'm praying for.
Hey, just instead of playing the demo, just wait for just 3 more months.
I don't want to wait. I want to play now.
I am slightly worried about that summer release date.
Yeah.
Like summer isn't the most popular time to be releasing new video games.
It's true.
I'm hoping that's not gonna ruin it for the studio, because the game looks promising. The artwork is beautiful.
Yeah, I hope and pray. It's always weird because indies, again, being as niche they are already. Like, I'm not saying they can just come out whenever. I think if the marketing's done right and enough people are talking about it. So guys, let's all talk about Cataclysmo. I'm just that ever so slightly afraid that it might not succeed. But listen, we just keep advertising from the same guys that made Moonlighter. It's fine. We're all gonna love it, right, guys? Right? Yeah.
Exactly. And if it fails, that means they'll just have to make another Moonlighter.
Exactly. Okay, hold on, guys. Hear me out. Listen, Cataclysmo needs to fail enough, not enough to bankrupt the studio, but enough to be like, damn, we shouldn't have stopped Moonlighter. So now, some of the Digital Sun's like, no, not what we asked. Please play Cataclysmo. No, there was a brief interaction. I by no means like close friends with the team at Digital Sun, but at one night I was just like, I need to get better at Twitter, and I just tweeted out like, by the way, guys, Moonlighter, pretty awesome game. And the team's like, oh, thank you so much. We're glad you like it. I'm like, absolutely. And then I start talking to some other fan. We were talking about like Moonlighter 2 could be like Will as the grandfather, but his grandson is like taking over the shop, and like all these different things happen and new monsters. And the dev's like, this is pretty cool. We should get you guys the writing team. I'm like, let's do it. We got it. We got him on the hook. Moonlighter 2 coming soon.
Once you plant the idea never dies.
It's there. I'm waiting for it. We're gonna see like the blue gnome. We're in 2 games right now, guys. We're in 2 games. Just keep running and water me and you. But hopefully we could be a Moonlighter too. That's all I'm praying for. Someone clip this out and send it to the Digital Sun guys. We spent the most time today talking about Cataclysmo and not even talking about Cataclysmo. But yeah, Cataclysmo's coming soon. What's next?
Next up is Death Must Die. This is a game by Realm Archive that's currently in early access. I've played it. It's kind of a Vampire Survivors clone, but with you taking more of an active role in combat. It's not just passive buffs that you keep upgrading. There's also a kind of Hades vibe in how you like talk to these gods and goddesses.
Yeah.
And this game is getting an Act 2 update on April 20th.
Hell yeah, dude. This one came up, sat there looking at it, I immediately saw like the Vampire Survivor meets Hades vibe in it. You're talking to these different gods. There's like the seasonal ones. There's like there was, I think, the God of Summer, or just like Summer incarnate or whatever. But then there was like the God of Thunder, but it wasn't like Zeus. It's an interesting one. I don't know what mythology or mythos this like takes from, or if it's like all original. But it looks dope. It looks cool. I don't know, again, that it's like the itch for me. I feel like it'd be one that I'd like try the demo, be like, this is pretty dope. I think people, like fans of this game, are going to like it. I don't know that I have more gas in the tank for it. But I love the art style, and I could just see my chat be like, Danny, I've been playing this one all day and I'm super obsessed with it. And like 2 out of my like 3 regular mods are like in love with Hades. And like, I see them just obsessing over this one too.
Yeah. I can imagine. It surprises me that I haven't seen this game being talked about more.
Yeah. Yeah, I think when it showed up, I had not heard of it before. You mentioned you'd played it, but yeah, this is not one that's like ever. If I've seen it, I don't recall. It seemed brand new to me, but listen, new eyes, new ears.
Your vibe.
Cancel it. Terrible game. Hold on, we're off. Oh, what's wrong with me, man? It's a day. We're having a day. But no, Death Must Die looks really cool. If you're into it, check it out. If you're watching this on YouTube, you're seeing these trailers and pulling them up as you go. If you're listening to this on audio services, you're kind of just getting the description. However, if you're like, I kind of want to see what this one's about, you can go over to the Triple I Initiative channel. They put out all their trailers already individually, so you could be like, that one sounds cool, let me find that trailer. Or just go back and watch the YouTube version of the podcast. You can see us talk one by one and pull up each of the trailers. But speaking of pulling up each of the trailers, next up, we brought up End Zone 2. Not a football game. It is a post-apocalyptic city builder by Gently Mad Studios. We got an early access release date sometime this summer. Another one that looks like gorgeous. I think I mentioned in the stream, I said something to the effect of like, man, this looks terrible in the most gorgeous way, where it's like dilapidated buildings. We're talking like post-apocalyptic. I think I said like Walking Dead meets some city builder, I said. Oh no, I think Disco Elysium I brought up because it has like kind of the like narrative selection. No D20s yet, I don't think, but definitely has that like Walking Dead minus the zombies meets Disco Elysium vibe. I think it looks cool. Another one, I think if the day hits, it's a rainy day, I'm not playing anything else, I'm like, let me give this one a shot. And then I'm just like, oh shit, it caught the vibe, dog. I see it. But yeah, I've never played End Zone 1. I don't know if you're familiar with the franchise at all.
Not at all. And looking at the trailer, this is the kind of game that should be on Game Pass for me. Like if this is on Game Pass, I'm gonna be playing it. I'm gonna try it, like you say, on a day where you're like not unsure of what to play. I might try something like this. I'm not sure if I'll buy it outright, but it does look gorgeous, like you said.
Right. Yeah, dude. Indie games are cool.
Indie games are the best.
But yeah, that's End Zone 2. What's next on that list?
Dyson Sphere Program. It's factory building in space.
What a title.
The game comes to us from Youthcat Studio, and the updates mostly seem to be around new vehicles arriving in the game soon. The trailer, I thought it was one of the most fun trailers we saw during the showcase. It had a great sense of humor.
Yeah, if you're like watching it now, it has this like Fallout tutorial style, like, hey, Pip-Boy here, check out this thing. And like it's showing like this really old sepia tone, like infomercial type video. It's cute. I think for a game like this, that again, typically not my style, and the first like snippet was like, here's what the gameplay is going to look at. But again, it was kind of that cinematic gameplay, not the like, here's what your screen's going to look like when you play. I was a little like, I'm a little lost on it. I'm not quite in that world yet. Plus, every time I think of Dyson, I think of the vacuum. So I thought this was like a sponsored game. Yeah, I think there's an audience for it. I don't think Danny's in that audience, but I'm hoping people grab that one because I think that trailer alone, I'm like, I dig the vibe. I dig the goofy. I dig the goofy vibe. But
I do think, if I saw this correctly, that it has like an overwhelmingly positive rating.
Oh shit! Okay.
Hang on.
Pop off. Team.
Overwhelmingly positive with over 71,000 reviews on
Jesus
Steam.
Christ! What the fuck? I ain't heard about this game though. You said 71. God damn.
Yeah.
Y'all out here playing Dyson then? Y'all like your vacuums.
And it's still in early
shit.
access, and it already has.
It is still in early access. Holy crap.
Yeah.
All right, shut my mouth. Go play Dyson. Go play the vacuum game. That's crazy, man. That's wild. Damn, that shit popping off.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Hey, next up. Yes, you did that one. So me. Oh, baby. Let's go. We've got Undermine 2. So this is another one. It's from Thorium Studios. I forget if I covered it or not, but I definitely was playing for a while. Undermine is a underground roguelike type deal, sequel to the first game. But you're basically living in like an underground city kind of thing, a la like Gurren Lagann without the drills. But this looks like it's adding co-op. You go on an adventure with your friends and you're doing like the exact same Binding of Isaac style, go from room to room, beat the boss, move to the next one, find the level boss, complete it, move to the next area. This one seems to have a little bit more narrative to it. They could like show the scene where like you run into like the prince, the king, the whoever of like the underground world. It looks like it's adding a bunch of new weapons. If anyone knows like the slimes in the first game, if you like killed anything, they drop money, but these slimes would constantly come out of walls to take your money and try and take it back. So you have to catch the slimes before they take all the money. It looks cute. I'm excited. At first I thought it was just an update for Undermine 1, but now they're just like, nah, dude, it's a sequel, baby. Doesn't look like the art style changed at all. If it did, I'd have to see side by side, but yeah, man, I'm glad this is getting a sequel. This one that I think didn't get enough love off the rip. So seeing that it did get enough to get a sequel is really exciting.
Yeah, and I think it's co-op now as well. Was that the case with the first game too?
I don't believe so. If it was, I never played co-op. It's one that I just had, and I don't think any friends had. But yeah, if there's co-op, I'm not familiar with it. But I think that's a new thing. I might be making that up. Who knows? But yeah, no release date on that one yet.
Would be a cool addition if that's something new.
Yeah, dog. Listen, people like the co-op because people don't like to play things alone. You guys don't like to close the door, turn off the lights, and just play your games alone anymore.
Nope.
Be a hermit like me. But yeah, no, for sure. That's like one of the first ones I have to wish list when we're all done, and I go back through the list of what to wish list today. Undermine 2 is exciting. I can't wait for that one.
Can imagine. Next up, we have Norland. This is a game coming to us from Long Jaunt, and it's described as a medieval kingdom sim that generates stories. Now, this one interests me.
Okay.
Because I kind of like the kingdom sims, but I often feel like they lack stories. So this should be the opposite.
Yeah.
And I hope it actually proves to be the case. Because I love me some story-based games. Like one of my favorite games is called Wildermyth. I don't know if you've heard of that one.
I think I know the name, but I don't think I've ever played. No.
It's like a tactical battler, but it's all based around stories and stories about people and generations of peoples. Mm-hmm. And I'm hoping this could be something in a similar vein.
Yeah.
The cool thing is we only have to wait until May 16th.
Yeah, baby.
When it launches in early access.
Right around the corner. Yeah. Again, I feel like it's so weird to be like, oh, not my type of tea, not my cup of tea, not my cup of tea. I think it all comes down to just like playing it and seeing what that feels like. Another one, I think if it falls in my lap and I'm checking it out, cool. I don't quite think I'm as high on it as you are. But I think it looks fun. Again, an audience for it. Not sure that I'm in that.
Yeah. All right.
But when I hear we talk about medieval garbage and dumb stuff, how about we talk about some fun stuff? How about we talk about freaking cars, dude? I want to talk about What the Car, because this is a goofy ass game. So What the Car from the What the Game Studios, they made What the Golf and What the Bat. Basically these like goofy sports games that are just like, oh, the game's not quite what the sport is. It's just using the sport to not do the sport. But it's a ultra realistic driving sim, they said. Dropped a demo today. You're basically going through these platforming levels as a car, but sometimes the car is a boat. Sometimes the car has legs instead of wheels. Sometimes the wheel like wraps around the car as opposed to using the four wheels on the ground. There's these goofy mechanics that like, this is a car, but it's not your average car. And I like the way this one looks because it seems like their biggest biggest scale games so far. Where like What the Golf does a lot of variety when it comes to the type of games you play. But like this one seems to stick a lot to the type of gameplay, but changes all the different things about the car a lot. So I'm really looking forward to trying this demo later. Hopefully tonight, probably tomorrow, maybe 2 weeks from now. We'll see. Yeah, man, that one looks awesome. That one looks really cool. What the Car? Have you played any of the What the games?
I've played the What the Golf, and I'm just continuously surprised at the innovative ways that they managed to come up with new stuff again and again. Like this trailer as well. The entire time I was just thinking, can I have some of that?
Can I have some?
Whatever they're taking while creating this, I want some of it.
Give me some.
It looks like fun.
Yeah, dude. I'm like, now I'm more excited, not so much about What the Car. I mean, that looks great. But I'm like, what are they going to do next? Because they've done golf, they've done baseball, they've done racing, I guess, if you want to call it that. Car is not really a sport, but and I'm like, they're gonna do something crazy. They're like what the cricket or like what the rugby, but like that seems too simple, right? They're gonna do something crazy like what the polo or like oh shit, how do you do water polo as a game? I love what the studio's doing.
I think they should go with What the Dungeon and make it a roguelike dungeon crawl.
Ooh, okay.
In the style of the What the
Yeah. Okay, hold on. I'm into this. What the games? Hit us up. What you thinking? What you want it? But yeah, What the Car? No concrete release date yet. Oh, I'm lying to myself. I'm reading the wrong one. Yes, September 5th. September 5th is the release date.
Yes.
So look forward to that. Play the demo today on Steam.
I will be playing that demo later today.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Darkest Dungeon 2, which has been released for, I think, half a year now.
Sounds right.
It's by Red Hook Studios, and you could describe it as a roguelike road trip of the damned. I think you have the wrong video up, by the way.
Do I? Is this not the full? It sure is. I sure do.
That's the Rokugaki.
Good eye. I was like, yeah, I know the dev talks, and I was like reading along with you. Spoilers for the next game. Although, can we talk about this logo though, quick, before we keep going? Like, I feel like I haven't really seen this logo before. Darkest 2 Dungeon, and I'm like, huh? Yeah. Why'd you put the lamp on the other side? That's Darkest Dungeon 2, but you know what? Whatever. We do it. It's a choice.
It's a choice.
You were saying.
The second game took the base of the first game, where you went and explored dungeons and battled increasingly hopeless situations, and made it into a roguelike road trip of the damned. But they are introducing a new game mode called Kingdoms, which kind of looks like it's a return to the gameplay of the first game. I might be wrong, but it seems like you're making your way through different areas instead of just following a straight line. So I'm not sure. Please correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But yeah, that game mode should be arriving sometime this year.
Yeah, Darkest Dungeon, another one. Broken record, not a Danny game. Darkest Dungeon 1 didn't quite get me, but like again, I think I have friends who love Darkest Dungeon, and I love the art style. I love seeing it get another one. If the day I see Darkest Dungeon 3, 4, 5, I'm like, I'm glad the series is doing well. I'm so glad people love it. Definitely one that was like, okay, I can look at chat while I look at Darkest Dungeon. Not quite the Danny energy one, but
I really like the games. Like they expect you to fail, which makes it easier for me. Like one of my struggles with gaming is I'm afraid to fail.
Yeah.
I tend to not play games because I'm not immediately good at them.
Yeah.
And Darkest Dungeon is like, you're not gonna be good at this.
You're not gonna be
and
good
that
at
makes
these?
it easier for me to be like, okay, yeah, I can try this.
That's the vibe, man. Just be bad. Just be bad and have fun.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh boy, we're like maybe halfway through, so let's do this. Keep moving forward. Next up, we had a world premiere of Rakugaki, I think is how you say it.
Yep.
By goodness gracious. Wasabi Games, a group of developers. They're mostly Latin American, published by Gearbox Publishing, but also part of Riot Games. So like 2 like weird industry names to put with that, where I'm like, we're still indie, right? Gearbox and Riot? No, okay, we vibing. But it's this gorgeous 3D platformer coming out summer 2024. Not a lot in terms of what the gameplay is going to be from this trailer. It's pretty much cinematic. But I immediately saw this Arc Runner meets Hi-Fi Rush type energy from it. Also Into the Spider-Verse, where What's Up Danger scene kicks off here. We jump off the building. No, it looks like a vibe. I'm very excited to see what the game is. I have that pit in my stomach where I'm not entirely sure where I'm going to see it and then be like, oh man, this isn't it. The cutscene made it look like this, but the gameplay is very not, and I have high hopes though, because this looks just like a vibe. The graffiti, the spray painting all over the walls and stuff, grinding through the city. It like a weird comparison. It reminds me of like Mega City or whatever it's called from like one of the most recent Fortnite seasons, where like you just grind on the rails, fight people there. Like that's what this kind of reminds me of, and I'm hoping this catches that. Yeah,
absolutely. I hope it's a single player experience.
That's what I'm hoping too. Yeah.
Since Riot Games is involved, I'm a bit unsure about that, but it looks like it could be a really cool single player experience, and the vibes are good.
Yeah, dog. Yeah, dog. But next up.
Next up, we have Broken Roads. This is a story-rich party-based RPG set in Australia. This is a game from Drop Bear Bites that was supposed to come out a couple of weeks ago, but they skipped the release date to today. So you can play it right now. It looks like it might be an Australian version of like... I would think Disco Elysium is a big inspiration here.
Yeah, I said that earlier. The other game, I'm like, nah, this is the one I said Walking Dead meets Disco Elysium. I confused the two, but this is definitely it. Yeah, I like the way this one looks. Again, I'm sitting here and give my opinion on each one. Like, well, I think I wouldn't play it very much. But there's another one, Mutant Year Zero, that I played on GamePass a while back, and like that kind of got the itch for that type of gameplay. And though this isn't quite that, this gives me that energy. And again, The Walking Dead, again, less the zombies, more of the like, we're surviving. What are we gonna do out here? And I like the way this looks. I think this one looks really cool. Broken Roads looks dope. And again, that one dropped today, so you can play it now.
Yep.
Broken Roads followed up by, oh baby, let's get another banger. Next up, we've got Raven Watch. Fall of Avalon update. So if you guys aren't familiar with Ravenwatch, it's a roguelike, party roguelike. You're playing as all these fables. There's Red Riding Hood. She turns into the big bad wolf. There's Aladdin. There's Geppetto from Pinocchio. And it's been releasing in like chapter sections. Chapter 1 and 2 are out. Chapter 3 is coming out April 22nd. So like I believe that's the final chapter. So I don't know if that means like, at least I guess original plan chapter. I'm assuming we're not even in 1.0 yet. Unless that's what this is. No. But yeah, it looks dope. It's from the same guys who make Curse of the Dead God. So if you like that one, imagine that co-op, playing as all these fictional fable characters. I really got into the vibe of it. You basically play through like a time frame as you're completing levels. Your timer's going down, and then you hit like midnight where like the big monster comes out, and then you fight the boss and then move on to the next level. I haven't played since the first chapter. So I haven't played chapter 2 at all, but now with chapter 3 coming out, I'm excited to see like, oh cool, it's all there. I can just play through the story, as my like Ice Queen. Cause that was my girl. I'm like, oh, this kit, I like this kit.
Cool. I haven't tried it yet because I tried out Curse of the Dead Gods right after I played Hades, and I just did not vibe with the gameplay.
Yeah.
And I was kind of scared that Raven's Watch gameplay would feel kind of the same. Plus, I don't really have any friends to play co-op with, so it wasn't really an option. But it looks good.
You need more friends, dog. Listen, sometimes we can play some multiplayer games together. We gotta do that. Like, we just gotta play at like a time when like you're awake and I'm awake, and you're over there being 5-6 hours ahead of me.
we can make it work.
We figure it out. But yeah, final chapter for our presumably final chapter here for Raven's Watch, and I'm guessing a 1.0 release sometime soon. If I recall, this one is planned for a console release, but we haven't gotten any info on that. Again, probably with 1.0, but we won't know until we know. So, Next up.
All right. Next up, we've got a third installment in the Cat Quest series. For those of you who don't know the games, these come from the Gentle Bros, and these are just open world RPGs where you play as cats, and it's adorable. And this third adventure, it's very pirate themed, which should like be celebrated by everyone.
Dude.
Yeah.
The One Piece, baby. The One Piece is real.
Yeah. The only real news that we got from the trailer is that it will be arriving sometime this year.
Yeah, when we got this trailer, I could have sworn this had a subtitle. It was like, it wasn't Cat Quest 3. It was like Cat Quest Pirates of the Caribbean or Pirates of the Caribbean or something like that. And like, now I'm wondering if I just made that up or maybe this had a name change and I'm just not familiar with like what happened to it. But yeah, it looks fun. I said during the stream, I've never played a Cat Quest game, but like I'm sitting here looking at this one, like maybe I should play Cat Quest. I'm going to have to play Cat Quest.
It looks adorable, right?
You're cool, dude. We need more cats in games.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. The next one is another one that's right up your alley.
Let's go. Listen, the way we switch, we're just like, you know, we got the Danny list. But hold on, then we got Tofr, Danny. Okay, you can take that one. Tofr, Danny. Tofr. Yeah, we'll figure it out. But next up, Hyper Light Breakers. So anyone who knows, weirdly enough, it seems like most of Heart Machine's games haven't been hitting right. Like I went back to play Hyper Light Drifter and maybe just not on stream. Maybe off stream would be better off, but like I was like lost as hell. But Hyper Light Breakers is far more in the vein of like a Risk of Rain. It is a multiplayer roguelike shooter type deal. You're running around fighting all these enemies. Drops in early access later this summer. And for all the other Heart Machine games, that neon punk vibe, it's here. It looks great. I don't know how much we know about the individual characters, but this shit looks like it's going to beat the hell out of me. And I think this will be my Risk of Rain. I think I'm going to be a lot more into this one than I was Risk of Rain 2. Just looking at like the character designs, the world, I'm hoping the bosses are badass. I'm sure they will be, but it just inspires me. I'm like, man, I got to go finish Solar Ash. I got to finish Hyper Light Drifter. I got to do these. And right now I'm not doing that.
I haven't finished either of those either.
Yeah. I definitely think Solar Ash more so, but
I'm slightly worried because I've read a couple of previews for Hyper Light Breakers.
Okay.
And they all seem to come to the same conclusion, and that combat doesn't really feel all that good.
Can't believe you'd tell me that.
I know, right?
Can't believe you'd say that to me.
Now, the thing is, they still have time to work this out, and they're going with early access as well.
Right.
So it might improve to no end. I just hope they like figure out what the thing is that's going wrong, because it seems to be like just something with the feeling.
Yeah. No, I think this one looks like it's going to be fun. I'm hoping once I get my hands on it, I can feel it, because I'm often just a weirdo where people don't like this. I kind of fuck with it.
Okay.
But again, with it being in early access, I'm hoping if I pick it up and I try it and it's not the itch, it's not the feeling I want, I'll be like, all right, we'll wait for the 1.0. Maybe they'll change it by then. That's what early access is for. Exactly. Is to be like, get people's hands on it. Do you like it? Do you not like it? What would you change? How do we change it? How do we keep the game we want without like sacrificing everything for people to enjoy it? Like, how do we make this a win-win for everyone? So fingers crossed for Breakers.
Oh, absolutely. The reason why I say that I'm worried is not that I'm worried that it's going to be a bad game. I'm worried that it's going to be disappointing for the developer. Like, right. I want this game to be a success for them, because as they've proven with their previous two games, they deserve all the success that they can get.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. And Heart Machine, I think that I have my Heart Machine hoodie that's across the room that I wear all the time, which is so like, again, weird for like the guy who hasn't finished a Heart Machine game. But it's a cool hoodie. It's like black with a red sleeve. It's dope.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. But next up.
All right. Next up, we have The Last Spell. This is they describe the developers, Ishtar Games, describe it as a tactical roguelite RPG. And going on the gameplay that we see in the trailer, I still don't really know what exactly that entails.
Right.
It looks like a tower defense.
Yeah.
But not completely.
Because it's not like there's not a lot of active movement. It seems like everything's kind of standing still. I'm like, Is this like an Advance Wars type deal? Is it? It seems like maybe everything moves on a turn, but like I don't entirely. Until I have my hands on the sticks, I can't quite see how this one plays, how this one works.
Exactly, that's the same issue I have.
Yeah.
Now I do want to give it a try because this is the same developer that created Lakeburg Legacies, which
Okay.
I really liked.
Yeah.
Which was something very different from this game. But yeah, the game is getting new DLC called Dwarves of Runenburg, and that's arriving on April 24th.
Woo! So now Last Spell's already out, right? Is it early access? Is it just out there? I assume it's out.
Let me take a look.
Right.
I think it's just out there. I don't think it's early access, but I'll make sure.
And while you're doing that, because God, we got like 12 more games. All right, let's do this. We got this, baby.
It's not in early access.
Okay, so it's full. It's out. It's okay.
Yeah.
Cool beans. But yeah, Last Spell. Someone go play it. Tell us what it is. We're a little confused. But next up, another city builder, Leysara Summit Kingdom. This one's cool. I can't really tell you what makes it any different from other city builders, but it's made by Quite Okay Games. Just stunning side of a mountain. There's a point where they show like, the weather's getting bad, and then like an avalanche will fill your city with snow, and then like things get damaged, you have to repair them, sending out people to do certain tasks and stuff. I don't know why that's the thing that made me the most interested, where I'm like, ooh, avalanche, this looks fun. But like, it looks cool. It looks stunning. I feel like this will be one that the moment I pick it up, I'm like, shit, why'd I do this to myself? I'm not going to get anything done today. But it looks awesome. It's available now in early access, so you can pick it up on Steam right now, play it, and then be there for the feedback as the game continues to evolve. And shit, I gotta see how much it is on Steam. I'm gonna have to pick this one up. God damn it. Are you like much of a city builder guy at all, or?
Not usually.
Okay.
I do like the gameplay, but I need me some kind of story.
Sure.
To get me going.
Yeah.
But like you said, the visuals here, the fact that it's on the mountain and there's like this chance of avalanches and stuff.
Yeah.
It's tickling something in my brain.
A little tickle in there, yeah. Yeah. No, it looks fun. I'm excited for that one. Looks like available on Steam right now, early access. Currently 20% off. It's $15, typically $19.99. Or you can get the damn good city builder, but it's like damn like a DAM, and it's Leysara, Timberborn, and the Wandering Village. That's a pretty good pack right there.
That is a good pack. Damn. All right. Next up, we've got for people who liked Children of Morta, we have Dead Mage's new game Wizard of Legend 2.
Yeah.
This is a fast-paced roguelite featuring 4-player co-op, which should be a hell of a fun time looking at this trailer. The action looks fluid as hell. It's colorful. It's giving me Hades vibes in the best kind of way.
Right. Yeah, I had mentioned, so I had played Wizard of Legend, the first one, solo. My other two buddies, they played it co-op. It was only 2-player back then, the first one. So I was like, I don't get to play with my friends. So I'm glad this one's adding 4-player. The cool thing with Wizard of Legend is that it's almost like Magicka. Not quite as much as you're merging the spells where it's like, oh, my water and my fire makes mud, or that's not what it does, but like whatever the combo is. Earth and water makes mud. But like this is more like, cool, I have water, I've got electric, and you're like each hand kind of does one, almost like Spellbreak style. I make a little bit of like a jump of a comparison on this one, but like that's kind of the premise of it. You're picking up different spells, then you go through the levels, beat the boss, moves to the next one, etc. So first one was really fun. I was a little bit jarring seeing the pixel art go to 3D models. I think the first trailer didn't do it justice. I think they've definitely improved a lot on what the game looked like and what it looks like now. So yeah, I'm very excited for Wizard of Legend 2. That one's gonna be a blast.
Cool.
Yeah. But yo, next up is me, and we're going back to school, baby, because this is another game from Pathia Games. The guys who made My Time at Sandra. Oh no, none of those guys. Damn, they out here putting in the work today. But Let's School, it's just a school simulator. You're building a school. I don't know how much you're playing as like the students as much as you're just building like the facility. You're setting up the classrooms, the lunch rooms, everything else, and you're just establishing like a functional school building. I always confuse this one with 2 Point Academy, 2 Point Campus. There it is. But yeah, it just looks fun. Coming to consoles sometime this summer, PlayStation and Xbox as well as Switch. Yeah. It's a vibe if you like the school building and stuff. There you go. I don't have much more to contribute to that one, but school's cool, I guess. Graduate, kids.
Yeah, that's a good line.
There you go. School, kids graduate.
Let's move on to Brotato.
Yo.
This vampire survivor like from Blobfish is getting new DLC called Abyssal Terrors. And aside from new weapons and upgrades and stuff, you're also getting couch co-op in the update that's arriving this summer.
Let's go, baby. Another just popular Vampire Survivors clone. Not one I think I've played more than like a round of.
Really?
Yeah, I think I was just, whenever it came out, I was playing something else. I'm like, okay, I see it. It's Vampire Survivors. But it's cool. It's again, I like that this genre exists, and it seems it's almost just like there's one game that just has like 1,000 different skins, and you just pick whichever skin seems to fit you best. And I don't think Brotato was that for me, but there's like 17 other skins that I'll really dig. Also, I'm a little concerned here with YouTube right now, because this is giving me some weird recommendations where like the video ends, and if I don't change back to the 2 screen, I'm seeing like right now, what if Adolf Hitler woke up in the 21st century? I'm like, why are you recommending me that? That's not what I don't watch that. But then I've got like wrestling videos. I'm like, okay, I did watch those. Those were me. Those were me. Yo, Cody Crybabies. Let's go, baby. But yes, following Brotato, we got another announcement from Awakeb, I think is the studio, the one's responsible for Chia.
Yeah.
And Chia making its way to the Switch starting on June 27th. Open world sandbox game. You're playing, I cannot think of where the game takes place. Someone can correct me in the comments. But you play as this girl Chia, and she basically has this like little flower that allows her to turn into like other creatures. So like you can turn into a crab, a bird, a deer, and to use that to like traverse the levels. It's gorgeous. It's got this like Breath of the Wild style like mystery to it, how big the world is. It's got the stamina gauge just like Link does, climbing up a mountain. There's mini games you build like stacks of rocks, and like that's my Zen, and now I've leveled up a certain stat. It's just fun. It's explorative. I think it's on PlayStation Plus catalog now, coming to Switch this summer. And then I think we said not on PC or Xbox yet. So still looking for a release date there.
I looked that up, and it released on Steam like back in March.
Okay, so it is on PC. Okay,
it's only it's only just released here.
Bet. There you go.
Yep.
Now you can play it everywhere except you Xbox stinkies. One day we'll get there. Probably after you get Helldivers. You're not getting Helldivers. Y'all thought you were getting Helldivers. That's crazy. Did I mention I'm tired? I can feel it about there, man. No, okay. I can step it up, but I'll step it up on yours. You got the next one though.
I got the next one. The next one is Streets of Rogue 2.
Yeah.
This is a game by Matt Dabrowski. It's an immersive RPG sandbox that has a story that you can freely ignore.
I love that.
The visuals kind of reminded me of like old school GTA before, like the very first GTA and GTA London and stuff like that. And it has a story where you like have to defeat an evil president or something, but you're free to do so. You're totally free to not even care about that president and like go out and farm or just spend your time any way you want within this very large, very alive world. The game is releasing in early access later this year, and I think I might pick this up, even though I'm not the biggest fan of open world games because I need a story to guide me. But this one looks like I might just give it a try.
Yeah, I've never played Streets of Rogue, the first one. But I said during the stream, I was like, I always see Streets of Rogue and I say Streets of Rage. I'm like, that's not indie, is it? I'm like, oh, sorry, I'm thinking of the wrong game entirely. And we said in chat, like, this reminds me of The Escapist, which, like, though I suck at and I've never escaped, is a fun game. And, like, this looks like it's going to catch that same vibe. And I definitely want to try this one out. Like, I'll probably try Streets of Rogue first. I don't know. I'm not sure what platforms it's on, but I definitely want to give that one a shot. I'm like, cool. Now I can play the second one.
All right.
Man, what a good time. What a good time to be in indies. All right, we're at what, 6 left? Yeah, let's do it. We got this. Well, we talked earlier. We're like, yeah, we had like 4 games to review. Let's do each of our big ones because we're already at an hour and a half. So
damn, okay.
We're good. Also, we can edit out like 30 seconds for the times I bumbled the intro. So we got like a 30-second window. But next up we have Old World. This is from Mohawk Games. It's a historical grand strategy title. It's getting a new DLC, Beyond the Throne. Comes up May 28th. I know nothing about this franchise, this game. It was definitely one that where I was like, brain got turned off. I don't think this is probably like closest thing to Civ where I'm like, yeah, not really me. Definitely not my itch. And I don't know if you're like, Danny, you're crazy. Old World, it's incredible.
No, it felt like this game arrived in the showcase at the right time because I needed like a slight break before the biggest announcements were to happen.
Yeah, dude.
this, and I mean, no offense to like the developers.
No,
of
100%. Never.
Because it looks like a really cool game, but it's just not our cup of tea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hammer's the best of us. But next up.
Yeah. Next up is a game that I know you are very excited about. It's Pal World.
Woo!
The game by Pocket Pair that absolutely everybody seems to have played this year. It's getting a Pal World Arena update, but what that entails, it seems like big battles and a big arena.
Yeah.
It was a very, very short trailer.
Very short. That literally, it's 15 seconds. Literally a 15-second trailer. It seems like it is just like, hey, you want to battle your friends? You can battle your friends. I don't know how in depth that goes. I think one of the big things with Power World right now is that the world is where you're locked to. It's not like Pokemon where like this is your save file. You have your stuff. I can battle my friends online. Like if I start a world and my friends join, they catch their pals. I catch my pals. But if he starts his own world, those pals are still in my world under his character. Yeah. So he doesn't get to keep his stuff. So I'm imagining, unless that changes rapidly, like this is going to be in my pal world. You grab your mons, I'll grab my mons. We go to arena, we battle. It seems to just be like the online battle type thing that Pokemon has that Power World doesn't yet. Looks fun. I've not touched Power World in quite a few months, probably since like the latter half of it releasing. I'm just waiting for 1.0 so I can finish the whole game instead of like, I'm caught up. Let me get back in the grind. I've already done so much work and I'm not going to have the itch for it. This is great. I love the game still getting updates. I think some games come out in early access. They kind of sit there, maybe a few bug patches here and there, and then the game's out. I love when they come in early access, but then still release like content updates, packages, new characters, new mons, whatever. And arena mode's cool. I think it'll just be fun.
Yeah, it looks cool. I'm not a big fan of Pal World. I tried it once. And I just didn't vibe with it, so I can't really comment on this new trailer because it doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah, Power World's like a flash in the pan. Not flash in the pan's the wrong word, but like it's like I don't like survival games. The Minecraft it shows up. Valheim's pretty dope. Otherwise, like Raft, Ark, The Forest, any other survival games, like nah, I'm good. Not my vibe. Okay. But Power World does this is a survival game with Pokemon. I'm like, okay, hold on. This is pretty lit. So like of my list of survival games, Power World added an extra notch. I'm like, okay, now I have more I can play. This is cool.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, since it was only a 15-second trailer, Power World, let's talk about the next one, which is 33 Immortals. This is one we got announced like forever ago. And like, I can't tell you the last time they said anything about it. But it's from Thunder Lotus, the guys who made Spiritfarer, which I loved. I need to go get the platinum on PlayStation so I can cry some more. But it's this epic roguelike where you play 33-player co-op. It looks insane. I want to play this on stream. I'm like, can I get 33 people who are going to buy/play this on some kind of GamePass type whatever? And I think it's gonna be a blast. I'm sure there'll be matchmaking so I can play with a bunch of randos, but it just looks chaotic. Like the trailer was like co-op for 2, 3, 4, 7, 33-player co-op. I'm like, what? Who asked for this? I didn't, but I'm gonna play it. But yeah, now they're taking signups for the closed beta, which starts on May 24th. You can go sign up. They sent out a bunch of emails today for anyone on their email newsletter list. But if you just go to the website, just Google 33 Immortals beta sign up, you'll find the website. It takes like 30 seconds, and then when the beta drops in May, you'll be able to play.
I'm a big fan of Thunder Lotus. I cried a lot with Spiritfarer, and I'm really, really excited for this release. I just hope it gets enough players.
Yeah, I hope so. I'm in a spot where watching this, I thought of Karmazoo, which like I get this guilt where like I got a key for Karmazoo. I loved it the first week, but I kind of just stopped playing because it's like there's so much other stuff to do. And like I fear every day that I'm going to see the like Karmazoo shutting down. And I like pray that there's still people on there playing and I'm just not in the zeitgeist hearing about it. And like indie multiplayer games are tough because if you don't have the audience, it's hard to stay up for long. And I'm hoping this just has it. I hope this is there.
Yeah, I had that problem with this game called Friends versus Friends.
Yep.
I don't know if you heard about that.
Yep.
I once in a while I'll log on and there's just one person in the lobby and he's way too good at it.
Yeah.
and it just immediately ruins it for me and then I just quit the game.
We'll have to talk because I played the demo. I'm like, this game is really fun, but only with friends. I can't like all these sweats online. Go touch grass. Go play something else.
Yeah.
My buddy Breezy's like, we playing sometime? I'm like, dude, let's talk. So I think we might have 3 people to play Friends versus Friends. We might have to find a 4th.
But I'm down.
Oh yeah, dude. Now you can talk about a banger, so let's go. Talk about this bad bitch.
Oh yeah. The next game up is Mouse. This is a Cuphead-styled first-person shooter, and that looks absolutely amazing. There was no actual news, I think, in the trailer. It was just a new trailer showing some new footage. It does seem to have like the same kind of humor that Cuphead had, but it's mostly the visuals doing the heavy load here.
Yeah, this one's so great. I remember seeing it on Twitter. I was talking about it in chat the other day where I was praying and hoping that like this game was much further along than we would know that it is. Like they were just like, oh yeah, we've been developing the game for like 10 years and we just showed you that first snippet of like 10-year-old demo footage to then be like, oh no, psych, the game's done. If they were just like shadow drop today in completion, not rushed. I understand. I don't want it rushed. I don't want to think Danny wants the game rushed out. I was just hoping it was more ready than we ever knew it could be. And like, it wasn't. The trailer is basically like, here's a new power up. It's a Popeye style can of spinach, but it's like spiked. So I'm assuming alcoholic spinach is the gimmick here. And then it just shows like your hands, rather than having guns, you get these 2 like anchor arm style SpongeBob fists. So you just start punching people and they pop. Yeah. Mouse is going to be fun. It's this Doom clone in like 1920s cartoon. Give it to me, man. Give it to me.
It would be cool if that had like multiplayer.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if it's going to stick with the narrative. After just talking about like multiplayer indie game service thing online, if it's like a mode within the game and it doesn't thrive on being multiplayer, would love that. I think it'd be great. But yeah, we'll see. That I'm banking like 2026, maybe 2027 on that one. Like I could see that one being a minute before we get it. Okay. I hope I'm wrong. If we get like 2025, let's go. Let's do it. But I could totally see it being that Cuphead style, like, oh yeah, we announced this in 2013. We'll see you in 2017. Like, but we'll see. I'll take it, whatever.
See. Yeah. I'll take the next one as well, so you can take the final game.
You know what? Let's do it. You got it, baby.
Yeah. We for the final game, we're gonna need your energy.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
Because it's too good.
Yeah.
So the penultimate game on the list is V Rising, which is a game that's currently in early access from Stunlock Studios. It's an open world survival game, so maybe this one should have been called Vampire Survivors instead of Vampire Survivors. But yeah, it looks like a lot of fun. It already has a big following from what I've seen on Steam.
Yeah.
And it's getting a Legacy of Castlevania update on May the 8th, introducing the Belmonts from Castlevania to the game.
I both love and hate the idea that Stunlock was like, guys, the game's coming along. We can finally announce it. And then Vampire Survivors come out like, they took our fucking name. Fuck. And like, they're just angry there. That's so funny to me. Interesting, right? I made this joke during the stream because Konami's not giving us Castlevania. They're just not going to do it. But Dead Cells is going to do it. V Rising's going to do it. And all these games are adding these like vampire expansions. And like, that's cool. I like it. Again, as someone who's like, Castlevania is not my thing, but seeing all these other people like use the Vampire Survivors, use the Castlevania IP in their vampire-esque games, I'm like, okay, this is cool. I like that like people are getting something when the company who's like, we'll just keep working on pachinko machines. Like,
oh yeah,
this is cool. I don't know if you played it all, V Rising, or I've not touched it. I don't know if you have.
No, I've not touched it either. I have to be very picky with the games I play because I don't have I have to buy everything that I play unless it arrives on GamePass.
I got you.
Yeah. I haven't been able to pick it up yet.
Well, here's what we're going to do, right, chat? Listen to me. You guys are watching that. We have one more game to talk about, and then a few other things. We're going to get there, I promise. We're looking at a 2-hour podcast. It's going to be fine. Anyway, what I'm excited for is that as this podcast grows, we're going to get review codes. I'm already getting some review codes, but I'd like to get 2. So I can be like, Tofr, here's one for me. We're going to do that. So make sure you like the YouTube video. Leave the 5-star review on Spotify and Amazon and Apple Podcasts or wherever you're listening to this shit. Like, thumbs up, whatever. Leave a comment. The more this pops off, the more studios see it, the more codes we get for Tofr. So Tofr's like, I got to buy my games. I'm like, no, you don't, bitch. I got you. Here's a code. Take the code. And Devolver, stop ducking me. Where's my... Never mind. I'm sorry. Devolver hasn't given me a key yet, and they're like, fill out this thing. I'm like, please? I was hoping to get a pepper grinder key. I was hoping to get a freaking Children of a Sun key, but nope. Devolver hates me. Anyway, last game of the showcase.
Yeah. Go for it. Hype it up.
The Rogue Prince of Persia. Funny, right? Because I'm looking at this, I'm like, oh, it's such a Prince of Persia game. Haha, that's funny. But we get the cinematic trailer. It's this knight assassin warrior type dude running through the city, kind of saving this little girl and her cat, stopping these like demon-esque looking dudes. And then as the trailer goes on, he does like the ultimate sacrifice, throws away his life to save the little girl, and then like rewinds. So I'm guessing roguelike tendencies was, I don't know if it's a roguelike or it's going to have the roguelike mechanics in it.
Hang on, I think it mentions on the Steam page.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. We have a description. Fantastic looking roguelite installment in the Prince of Persia franchise. Yeah. Releasing May 14th. This looks cool. It was that dope reveal where like as the show, and I'm like, wait till I see the logo, and then it goes Prince of Persia, the Rogue. I'm like, oh, no, it's actually Prince of Persia. Huh. Mm-hmm. That's great, especially because we just got the Lost Crown, which like exudes indie energy, but is not an indie game. And now we have Prince of Persia, the Rogue, which exudes indie energy and is an indie game. So like, this is pretty cool. This is exciting. I think this one looks fun. As someone who hasn't touched Prince of Persia yet, my first one was going to be Sands of Time, but then that got delayed by however many years. Mm-hmm. I think this looks interesting and very unique. I don't know if someone can explain the lore of like, why is he purple? This isn't what I've seen Prince of Persia look like, so I'm not sure what's going on here, but it's a vibe. It looks awesome. It looks like a blast. I've already seen like kind of funny while we were recording this. They're like, Tim's played the new Prince of Persia. I'm like, well, I got to hear about this. Damn. But from Evil Empire, the same guys who are credited with working on Dead Cells. I believe they just did the Castlevania DLC. I don't know the clarity of what all they worked on. But I could be totally wrong because I know Motion Twin did Dead Cells. Yeah, Dead Cells. So I'm not entirely sure like where the break in the amount of work went to. But either way, they're credited for Dead Cells. So Dead Cells means this should be fun.
I think so. It looks beautiful. And I love the way that the trailer evolved from cinematic to gameplay.
Yeah, nice transition.
So smooth. So smooth.
I tweeted that out immediately. I'm like, yeah, dude, indies are awesome, bro. Yeah. It's great. I'm awesome.
Glad that like a studio like Ubisoft is taking a chance on an indie studio like this.
Yeah, and like I love that for Ubi right now because like Ubi gets a bad rap. I'm personally only into Ubi for Far Cry. Just give me Far Cry 7 already. Like I don't really care too much about else. But the fact that like here's Rabbids, like well, I say that as if like you know what. We'll bend with you. You can have Rabbids for your little Mario game, but like do it right. Like that's it. But like no, Ubi's been doing some cool stuff with like Avatar, with Star Wars, and I'm liking what I'm seeing as far as like how they're willing to work with major IPs, but also give their IPs to smaller studios. If this is the thing, if this is where we're getting really good licensed asterisks on the really good licensed games because big studios are saying take our IP and make a smaller experience. If this is what I get in replace of losing Riot Forge this year, so I'm not getting indie League of Legends game, but I'm getting indie Prince of Persia, if I'm getting indie God of War, if I'm getting indie Spider-Man or any of these because they're working on like other licensed titles, I'm here for it. I'll take it, baby. That sounds awesome to me.
Absolutely.
And that, oh man, was the AAA Initiative Showcase. God damn. No, this showcase is dope. I'm excited to see if this becomes annual, if it's biannual, what the case is going to be. But if big studios like this are coming and swinging to show off what they've got and what we haven't seen yet, and to just keep like indies in the spotlight, I'm all for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It would be cool, like you said, like. For example, I was wondering where was Annapurna, where was Devolver, where was Chucklefish, where was Fellow Traveler.
Right.
These are studios that should definitely try and make it in there to like take it to the next level.
Yeah.
I think it would be pretty cool to like see everyone in the indie space banding together. That would
I'd
be
love
cool.
it. I love it because this means that like not I don't want to take spots away because I'm sure there'll be studios that are at like indie world events or at ID and Xbox events or at PlayStation indie like state of plays. But if this tends to be like this is where they all go, they go to like the AAA initiative, like that would be really cool. I'd love to see that like grow and see like a booth at next year's PAX for like the AAA initiative or at GDC or Gamescom or anything like that. That sounds awesome. I want to see that spotlight. I want to see that big yellow sign with the 3 eyes. I'm like, yo, this is lit. I can't wait. I'm hoping this pops off, dude. This is awesome.
I hope so too.
Yeah. Alrighty. Tell you what, no segue. Tell me about Children of the Sun.
Yeah, I played Children of the Sun. It's a very moody and atmospheric sniper puzzler by René Rother. That's published by Devolver Digital, the people who do not give you the review codes.
What the hell, Devolver? I thought we were buddies. You liked my tweet. I thought we were friends.
The first thing that like really pops out from the game is the visuals.
Yeah.
The scribbled art style combined with the use of mostly pinks, purples, and oranges, it looks incredible. It creates a setting that you want to dive into, even though the story is quite gruesome. It adds some like this air of mystique that surrounds both the girl, the main character that you play as, and the cult that you're fighting. So it does that really well. So like I said, you play as the girl who vows revenge on the cult that has taken her family.
Okay.
To do this, she goes on like this one-woman rampage with just her sniper rifle and a single bullet each time. This allows for the battles with groups of cult members to become this kind of puzzles. Because you shoot your bullet, and then every time it hits someone, you can change the direction of the bullet. But at the moment, if you miss just once, you have to restart the entire level. So it's a really interesting take on like the Sniper Elite kind of gameplay. It kind of reminds me as well of like the movie Wanted, but then in a much cooler aesthetic.
Yeah. How are you digging the progression so far? I played the Steam Next Fest demo, which was the first time I heard of this, and I think it was a little more like spaced out. We're kind of like, here's a level from this world, here's a level from this world. I don't know if it was going directly linear. Have you found it like it's pretty accessible and now it's becoming challenging? Are you finding the paths easy enough to be like, okay, I understand how to do this? Or are you like struggling with like, there's a lot to figure out. I don't know if I'm finding it.
It's funny that you mentioned that because right now I'm stuck.
Okay. Okay.
There's a level about halfway through the game where the subtitle to the level says you can see everyone.
Okay.
But apparently I can't because I keep missing someone and I have no idea where they are. But other than that, it introduces new mechanics in a very satisfying way.
Okay.
It adds like you go from one level to the next, you get a small piece of story as well to add some lore to the puzzles.
Yeah.
But I think the main draw for people will be to get the high scores.
Yeah.
Because every time you finish a level, you can see a list of where you rank among the high scores. And I think getting higher and higher up that rank is going to be what gets people to come back to this game.
Hell yeah, dude. I'm so excited to check this one out. I just finished Botany Manor, which I'll talk about here in a second. And tonight, as of recording, yesterday, as of this video going up, I'm checking out Yellow Taxi Goes Vroom. And those are two of the games that released on the same day as Children of the Sun. So it's a good time to be an indie fan, but also not enough hours in the day. So like Children of the Sun is on my list to get to, hopefully sooner than later.
I get that. And it shows in the numbers because from what I've seen on Twitter as well, the sales aren't just that for Children of the Sun.
Yeah.
It's not getting the reviews it needs on Steam, despite getting rave reviews in the press.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just come out at the wrong time.
Damn. All right, I gotta get to that soon. Then I gotta play it soon. All right, we're speed running Taxi tonight, everybody. We're getting that done tonight. Steam review that it's Child of the. Okay, no, that sucks to hear. I want to see that game succeed because this is such like one of those experimental titles where like if this doesn't succeed, it's just a sign that like everyone's like, man, why aren't we ever getting new fresh games? Because you're not playing them. Because we're not playing them. We got to play them or we're not going to get new fresh things. You're going to get the same Call of Duty every year. Stop. Go play those games.
Exactly.
Damn. Yeah, I got to get to that really soon then. I want that game to succeed. I want a Children of the Sun too. This game looks baller.
It is.
Yeah. But hell yeah, dude. Yeah, I'm going to just dig it. Botany Manor, baby. Let me tell you. So I will say I did receive a code for this one. Devolver. But no, I did receive a review code for Botany Manor. I got it about a week ago. This game's cool. This game's like really magical in a way. And as I was playing it, I said, if you are the type of person who likes to stop and pick up like every note, every memo, and like read what's going on in the world, this game requires you to do that. Like you have to read everything to know what's going on in the world. And the music's playing. I want it to be silent. Beetlejuice. What the fuck? But yeah, like you're this young lady. You're in this giant mansion that like is like the home for a botanist type deal. And you're trying to find the steps to grow all these exotic plants. And some are simple enough where they just need to grow under certain like light. Some need to be, they need like the energy of a thunderstorm. And because it's not storming out, you have to like take a camera and like flash it. So it's like a flash of lightning and the plant knows to grow. Some later where it's like you have to actually balance like pH levels in the soil. So you have to put like certain minerals in there, or like one has to grow in the water, but it has to be somewhat dirty. But like you don't just get like here's how this works. You can see like on the screen, you have to go around the house and find pamphlets and books and posters and stuff that's giving you information. And then you pick all those individual pieces of information and put them into the page. Like this one should do this. This one should mean this. And once you have it all locked in and know what you have to do, you just take all the information, plop it into a plant, and make that plant grow. There's 5 levels, probably like 3 to 4 plants per level. Really got stuck sometimes. It would take me a minute. Like there was even a point where I'm like, dog, I cannot figure this out for the life of me. And I explained to a friend, he's like, did you try this? I'm like, God damn, you're right. That's right. I should have done that. And then boom, knocked it out in like a second. Like I'd probably say altogether took me 7-8 hours to beat with struggling with some of the puzzles. But this is a cool one. This immediately went on like my top 10 for the year so far. I always build my list from the start of the year, and like if things come in and bump it down, they go to honorable mentions and so on and so forth. But this is currently in like my, I think, top 7 or so. And this is a really cool one. I think it's very cozy because there's no combat. There's no like crazy time limits, blah, blah, blah. You're just playing the game and solving the puzzles of making these plants grow. To like, again, it's more of like the lore of the world, but it's like, oh, you're a woman and like women can't grow plants. That's a man's thing. And it's like, oh, weird. That's, that's dated. But like, that's the energy. So you're like proving yourself as like, I'm a botanist. I can prove how to do all this. And it's really cool. It's really fun. I think, this one's on Game Pass. I can't recommend enough to check it out. I also think it dropped on Steam and Switch. I think it'll be in the list later.
Yeah.
But yeah, Botany Manor, really cool. Really, really cool game.
Okay. I like that you have to like collect notes and stuff and postcards to like get the information that you need to grow the plants. Kind of reminds me of like the detective work in games like Return to the Obra Dinn.
Yeah, kind of. Well, I'll say Obra Dinn is also on my list of shame. It's on the wheel. I promise. I'm going to play Obra Dinn. But yeah, I will say with the clues, I wish there was a way to compile them. So as you find them, you get them in a list of like, you have to take your book and like, okay, this one needs steps 1 through 5 and put in the individual, this note card, this letter from grandma, whatever. But like the information's not there. So like if you found a note on the kitchen table upstairs and you put it in, you're like, okay, I know the kitchen table note has that info. You have to run back up to the kitchen table and read it. Like you don't get to like write down like the note said this, so I know it's this. So unless you remember it, it's a little, you kind of have to explore sometimes, like, especially in like levels 3 and 4, there were a lot of times where I'm like, what fucking note am I talking about? I don't remember what this is. Then I have to run to the kitchen. I'm like, not the kitchen note, which the basement note. So run to the basement. Okay. This one says about rust. So where the fuck do I get rust? And like, so it's a little tedious for that. I think if you can piece together what each plant needs, you can kind of remember where everything is. But I could definitely say I wish it was a little easier to just like, here's all the info. It's together. I don't need to run back and forth to do it. But
okay.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good time, and especially since it's on Game Pass, I'm gonna have to give it a go as well.
Give it a go. It's a blast. But we'll talk about Slider and Curiosity next week because we're already running long. We still got to talk about the upcoming indie games and the viewer right and favorite indie. So I guess I could just power through these real quick. So now we're going to tell you the upcoming indie releases for this week. This is from April 9th to April 17th. I know last week we're like, we're doing Tuesday to Tuesday. Doesn't make sense. You guys see it on Thursday. So now next week we'll see like the 18th through the 24th, I believe. But starting on April 9th, Botany Manor releases on PC, Switch, and Xbox consoles. Again, also on Game Pass. Also on PC on April 9th, we have Yellow Taxi Goes Vroom. I'm so excited to play it. I'm sure by the time you're seeing this, I had a blast. Current Danny recording has no idea. Yet again, another April 9th banger. We have Children of the Sun. Please go play it. That one's on PC. I'm hoping that gets a console port. Next up, we've got House Flippers 2, April 10th, PlayStation and Xbox. That's already on PC, so if you want to pick it up there. Broken Roads, we already talked about today. That just dropped today on April 10th for PC, Switch, PlayStation, and Xbox. Sophia the Traveler on April 11th for PC and Switch. That's a like, where's Waldo, hidden mystery, where's the different thing kind of video game. Looks really cool. April 16th, we have Harold Halibut for I said I'm fucking running through it. Harold Halibut for April 16th, PC and PlayStation, as well as Xbox, coming to Game Pass. Planet of Lana, already on Game Pass. We're releasing on April 16th for PlayStation and Switch. Then we have Kill It With Fire 2, drops on April 16th for PC and Early Access. Life Eater, which is one I just heard about today, also drops April 16th for PC. I think it's like a narrative adventure where like some weird underworld god is telling you have to kill your neighbors. Like, I don't entirely know what's going on there, but it looks trippy. So I kind of want to check that one out. And then around the list, we got Kingsgrave on April 17th for PC. Another one I looked at and I cannot for the life of me think of what it was. But yeah, those are the games you can look forward to this week. Typically, I'd love to go and explain a little bit more, but again, we are at 1 hour and 51 minutes. So but yes, to round out the episode, unless you have anything to say on those upcoming releases.
I think Harold Halibut will be one of the games to be on the lookout for, especially since it's coming to Game Pass. It looks incredible. It's very much a story-based game, so if that's your kind of deal, I think just give it a try. I know I will. Yeah,
I'm really excited to check it out. I was listening to the Indie Council earlier this week, and they kind of talked about like some of them had early previews of Harold. They really like the aesthetic. They like the art style. They said the gameplay feels very dated, where it feels like one of those classic like Resident Evils where like the door may be like around a corner, but because of the camera, like you don't know there's a door there. So you're no, where do I go? What am I doing? And then you just happen upon it. I'm hoping that was just like in the early chapters, like, man, this kind of sucked, and it gets better. It seemed like why wasn't this a movie as opposed to a game? I never like thinking that, but also like, I hope that's not the case. I still want to check it out. I haven't received a key or anything for this one, but I did apply, so we'll see. But if not, yeah, it's on Game Pass, so it never hurts to try it and hopefully get your feet wet and be like, ooh, this is pretty lit.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then, of course, to round out this episode, do not forget that you can write into the show and tell us what your favorite indie game is, just like Christopher Riandu, a.k.a. friend of the show, Chris RV2, says, my favorite indie game is Hades, one of my first true experiences with the roguelike genre that took my love of Greek mythology and fused it with an addictive gameplay loop, ultimately causing me to fall in love with roguelikes. Tofr, you like Hades?
I do, but I've never managed to get to Hades.
Oh, man. How far did you get? How far did you get?
I can't really remember. It's been a while since I played, but I've played run after run after run, and it really is a skill issue. It really is. But despite that, despite never managing to get to Hades, I still love the game. Yeah, like the dialogues with the characters, the gameplay is so good. Like, I'm really bad at roguelikes, and I still managed to get pretty far, which to me felt pretty special. Like, the game was accessible and still pretty hard, and that was a really good combination.
Yeah, dude, I just recently did my first, like, I've completed Hades. It was another Wheel of Shame. I finally got to it. I finally beat it. I picked that up on Epic when it dropped in early access. Did terrible at it. Didn't do very well. Picked it up on Switch. Got all the way to the third boss. And just, like, not that I quit, but I was like, I'm going to come back to this. And then, like, something else came out. It just got away from me.
Yeah.
Picked it up on PlayStation. Barely touched it. And then I'm like, I need to play Hades the moment they announced Hades 2. I'm like, I need to finish this damn game. So recently did that on stream, got through it. I love the gauntlets. If I could recommend a weapon enough, the gauntlets, they're so fast. You hit things. Yeah. They don't have time to even think about hitting you back. You can dash and punch them again. The gauntlets are amazing. It's the one weapon that I like the most, but Hades is like another one of those, like, this is a AAA indie and this is awesome. And like, now that I've beaten Hades 2, I'm in a similar spot I was when I beat Persona, not an indie game, but like I played Persona 5 well after everybody else. And I'm like, oh, cool. I'm in the zeitgeist now. When Persona 6 comes out, I'm with everybody else. I'm in the know. So now when Hades 2 comes out, I've beaten Hades. I'm in the know. I'm with everybody else. Now I got to try and plot it before 2 comes out. But
that's the thing. You've beaten it once.
Now I gotta beat it again.
Hades is not a game that you just beat once.
Yeah, dude. It's like the amount of times I've gotten to the end, and no spoilers, but like I found the thing out there, but I gotta go find the thing out there again and again and again. I gotta keep finding the thing. But yeah, man, Hades rocks. Hades is dope.
It does. It really does. And the soundtrack as well.
Oh, mwah. Yeah. And all the gods, so smexy, so freaking smexy.
Absolutely.
Mommy Nyx, oh my god. Oh, ran to a Nyx cosplayer at PAX. Oh my god, man! What are we talking about? Okay. But of course, you guys will have to let us know in the comments which god from Hades you think was the hottest and what you think of the game. And with that, I think we're done. That's this week's episode of Playlog.
Bring it home.
I'm hoping next week, don't know what the idea is yet, what the plan is, but hey, it shouldn't be another 2-hour podcast, but I hope you guys enjoyed. If you like the 2-hour podcast, if you enjoyed your time here, again, don't forget to like the YouTube video, leave us a review on podcast services. It helps this podcast grow so we can continue to bring you cool and awesome indie gaming content. Before we wrap it up, be sure to check out my buddy Tofr here, Play Nice Kids all across the social medias. Couldn't do the show without having my great partner. Check me out. We're on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all the fun stuff. You're probably seeing clips over there. If you came from any of those to this platform, let us know where you found us. I love knowing all the little like, ooh, this social media algorithm said find Danny Boy. Anything else you got, Tofr?
No, you did it. You made it.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.